Greetings everyone, and Great here. Another Age of Empires 4 replay. So on the left side as the Chinese forces, the Orange Chinese, we have Valdemar1902. So on the right side as the Blue English, we have Dragevann. Yes, just Dragevann. I think I probably butchered that name enough. Over here, of course, got the Erdable Chief. He went for Mill right there. Not next to the berries. That may have been a mistake. I know he wants to get the tax collection up and going as quickly as possible, but he should have put that next to the berry bushes. Over here, Orange Scout does find a good number of sheeple. He's going to lead them home to victory and not to the slaughter, right? They said get in the cars. Oh, and we've got a early farm here as well. The early farm's interesting. He's going for Abbey Kings, another unusual choice. The Abbey King was greatly buffed, but as far as I can tell, based on what other people say, it's still, based on what interactions I have fighting against the King just does not pose a massive threat compared to Council Hall. Honestly, the Abbey King could be a bit better if it was if the King was free and automatic response over time, like say the Khan. He does cost 100, so a little bit cheaper than say a knight, but he has more health and one less armor. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups right now. So now we've got the King and the Scout push away forward. The King does have a lance attack and does find a hand cannon near Slip. Spearman, unupgraded Spearman, now pushed way forward, now being upgraded to a hardened Spearman. Now he's ready to take on the King. Will we see Regicide here? It does get a stab there on the Scout, not on the King, so that's pretty good. The King didn't get just now got a hit there on the Spearman. Now we've got two Spearmen here. Now you of course spot the King himself. The King can back off. With the recent patch, he's able to heal himself right now, which is very good. And Scout goes down. That's been an oversight. You got two farms here. Eventually, he can deploy Mill out to get these improved as well. I'm sort of interesting. He went for those two early farms. The deer is over here. He may have not spotted the deer just yet. Now you got the Bardican of the Sun, trying to help secure up the gold. He will get this build up quickly. Chinese can build stuff very quickly. The King does get a good slice there and does fall up there. The Spearman, not in the region, does lose the villager there. And the other ones will go and finish up the Bardican of the Sun. We got a longbowman here. And the wolf is going to bite that longbowman a little bit, which is actually can be very important. Spear not charging forward. The King has now had the healing region or activated, at least on himself. I wonder if the out of combat or if that only applies to the King if it's out of combat, or if it does apply to everything that's out of combat. He canceled the Bardic and the Sun right there, so this King is doing some good work. Yes, he got another villager there, very nice, and there goes. He just committed regicide. Admittedly, when I was first ever fought against the King, that sound really freaked me out. I was like wondering, what did I just heard off in the distance, and all of a sudden, like, what was that sound? Sort of reminds me of the old sound bug in Company Heroes 2. For those who don't know about that, basically every so often there could be a very, very loud bang in Company Heroes 2. I tend to throw off my headsets when that happens. Like, it is more than just a regular, like, loud sound. I'm talking about if your volume's set to 30 and you hear something around 150. Song Dynasty has been started. And now you've got a horseman now pulling field. We only got a longbowman here. The horseman's going to do some great work. The Scout's also charging for as well. This longbowman was already a little bit wounded beforehand. He does take out one longbowman there. He could potentially aggro that boar there. The boar could do some serious damage to these longbowmen. Go forward, use a Scout to fire arrow at the boar. Does take out some more of these spearmen. He needs more horsemen. And over here, no Spearman whatsoever. He's going to solely use the King. The King does get countered by a Spearman, but he should still do reasonable versus the Horseman. Just not spectacular. I've got two Horsemen up on field. One of them has quite a bit of damage right there. Some of those are starting to get hit as well. Horseman going straight for the longbowman. Very good. Does pull back that one horseman time. King's getting some good damage there, providing pretty good swing damage. Allow him to just constantly hit away against these horsemen, so he can skip the spearmen. With these counts, without the counts hold, these longmen will arrive before at the normal rate. Doing a great job of focusing down these horsemen. And they even take that wounded archer and put in the back. Very, very good micro there. He just needs a now there's some spearmen there, and these spearmen do pose a big threat to horsemen. But only has the one spearman at the moment. He could push for that scout. He may have already lost a scout. More horsemen now being pulled out of the field. Finds a good volley there onto the Imperial official. And does find a volley there on the king, including a hand cannoneer slit. Cannon can heal himself, as well as heal the nearby longbowman. And there's a healing aura there. As I mentioned beforehand, I wonder, it says heals, let's see, heals nearby out of combat units. So it looks like the aura does affect individually on combat state. Starting to collect those berries now. His deer deposit is relatively safe, so he could perhaps claim it. Blue's claiming his deer deposit, but the mill's not exactly well placed. He's constantly moving, knocking these deer around. And Cannoneer finds a shot onto the longbowman. And now we've got some of these spearmen torching down some of these housing. Right now, he does need a housing. He's at 47 out of 50. He's starting to rebuild another house. He needs more houses. Let's get the villagers out before the house does go down. Now he's at pop cap. Oh no, he doesn't have a housing there. Now he's below pop cap. He needs to get out another pair of housing, maybe a village. They got a fresh house on the high ground. Still need more housing. There's now getting a lot of longbowmen out in the field. And now we do have a lumber camp there. Longbowmen starting to get some arrows on this barracks. Now we've got 6 horsemen. It's still not enough horsemen. His stable's over here. He may need to pull another stable in the back line. He just doesn't have enough wood. He has a bit of food and gold. And now his house will go down. Now he has siege engineers deployed on the field. He has a good number of spearmen on the field as well, going for another, for a blacksmith, another archer range, getting out some of his own archers, looks like. And he actually is queued up the stuff inside the stable, going straight for the town center here. Interesting. It makes sense. King's starting to advance forward. The hand cannoneer splits hitting that bear on that battering ram. Now King is starting to receive some arrow fire, and he has to retarget towards the king now. Battering ram will likely get out. Will not. Oh no, he's a pop cap, and he desperately needs that horseman. Going for another stable, going for a village back here. And looks like he will not get that horseman out. No, he will get the horseman out in time. He desperately does need every single horseman. And this one just being set ablaze is still being produced. And there it goes. We now got 43 military to 13. It's not looking good for Orange. Going for more battering rams, very nice. He does evacuate the town center now. I wonder, is this a hill there? Nope, I can't angle the camera downwards. I was going to say, I could angle the camera like this to get a view of everything, which is somewhat can. You can see the villagers collecting up stuff. Another battering ram now put on the field. It's a very, very large number of longbowmen. And the Imperial official does get sniped. Starting to queue up more and more of these horsemen. Now the town center's under fire. He needs perhaps to get the town center garrison. He does have a second town center up here for more village production, so he loses his primary one. It's not a massive problem, just a big problem. It's not the villager there. Does get the Barnington Sun up here. This town center does fire some arrows there. It was loaded with his horsemen. Now it's making this counterattack. The primary town center does have extra health, 7,000 health. Arson engages the spearman. He's trying to whittle down the spearman before sending his horsemen. Does get the horseman inside the town center. And now he can pop out the horseman on the far side. He needs to pop out the far side. And there we go. Now the horsemen ambush the archers. Managed to close it there. Most of the spearmen are now back down and getting knocked around by that horseback by that single horseman, and allowing the archers to finish off the rest of these spearmen. Very, very good. But now the town center set ablaze. These horseman needs to be out of the line formation. He's interrupting his formation there. Does lose the king. Town center's under fire, or now set on fire. Warren still has a superior number of villagers since he has a second town center. Doing a great job of getting damage on these longbowmen. Looks like he does lose that town center there. You can see by landmark destroyed. Let's get this outpost garrison as well. The horsemen are getting whittled down. And now he does finish off one of those battering ram there. Horsemen do bonus damage for the siege plus 10, so they do 19 damage per siege. There's a decent number of archers here. The military force is 25 to 25. Still, longbowmen are a superior quality as compared to archers. And he does have a handful of horsemen, spearmen to stop the horsemen. Doing a good job of focusing on those spearmen, allowing the horsemen more engagement. And they're stepping away from the long way from the horsemen. The regular archers get some hits on the longbowmen. It picks off all of those spearmen there. Town center needs to be fully repaired before we can use it as a town center. And now we do have 5 horsemen on the field, only 5 spearmen here. More horsemen on the build queue. And you have another mill over here. These farms are not improved by a nearby mill. Archers advancing forward, get some good damage on these forces. Horsemen getting whittled down. Orange archers on a move forward, doing some good work. Spearman trying to charge him forward. He does go and get on back. The longbow's still in range. Does finish off those spearmen there. Now his horsemen can advance forward. The castle network of castles could go down there. Did not set in blaze in time. Now I've got these horsemen charging forward. There's one spearman. There's now man-at-arms in the field. That can be ignored. Doesn't do any bonus damage to this horseman. And especially the archers hit the longbowman either way. More man-at-arms being pushed forward. He's a good damage there. And do got some more spearmen deploying field. Now the man-at-arm numbers are getting up, but the longbowman numbers are going down. Horsemen and are technically inferior to man-at-arms in a one-on-one combat. Largely thanks to the extra bit of armor there. So he will need to take time to whittle down these men-at-arms. Men-at-arms in large numbers in this age can be very tough to deal with. But right now there's only 3. They are expensive, however. Does take out that outpost there. Laying up the rest of these sheep over here. Chinese player has no gold income barring the imperial officials. Collecting up some of these berries. I do got some mills being pulled out by blue in an unusual pattern. And right now orange still has a superior villager number. He's building out more spearmen, more longbowmen, non-additional man-at-arms. Now this force is more in ambush position, though we may not really see much out of it. There's an outpost to spot for them. And arms advancing forward. This outpost is not upgraded to a hand cannoneer slit. And looks like he's out of sheep here as well, so these villagers need to retask on some sort of alternate food source here. We do have now a granary on the field. I thought granary was castle age. I guess it's a feudal age. Improves village can drop off here. Increases the village gathering rate by 10%. Generates tax each time a resource dropped off. The granary, is it more expensive than a mill? 125, yes it is. Increase the Mac, oh, that's 150. So yeah, that is pretty expensive. Got this man at arms here. Horseman trying to overrun that man at arms now. You could see the setup camps being put on field for more spotting for the English player. Blue's not going for the King's Palace. Yellow or orange does not have nearly nowhere enough gold. Now he's starting to collect up some gold now. The King's Palace is, of course, another town center. King's Palace now deployed on out. We will likely see the veteran longbow research relatively soon. 100, 250, nothing too terribly expensive at the moment. Now we've got the man-at-arms upgrade, going from early to regular man-at-arms. And now we've got the astronomical clock tower being put on field. Like eyeing for some clock tower nested bees, which would be very good versus opponent's composition. Let's have this outpost here. Upgrade hand cannoneer slit. Gain some great damage on these man-at-arms. The archers get some great damage from man-at-arms. Down south, a couple more man-at-arms coming for a bit of a raid. There's another hand cannoneer slit here. So these man-at-arms will be whittled down. Hand cannoneer slits are more cost-effective than spring golds, and they still do reasonably well versus heavy armored stuff. I think we just saw ironclad research. Nope, we do not. Let's get some of these guys inside the tower there, as well as inside the village. Man-at-arms, of course, very durable, however. Now, Blue's on advance forward. There's another outpost here receiving quite a bit of fire from those longbowmen. Now he's falling back to deal with the longbowmen. No clock tower nested bees being put on field. Some of these villagers are being picked on off since they're not being recast to berries. And those man-at-arms do go down. They're still not being retasked. You now have some lancers being put on field. That should be a very effective item versus longbowmen. And this outpost will go down, has been set ablaze. And those man-at-arms won't last all too long versus the lancers. We got now a veteran archer being put on the field. He needs to get maybe some veteran crossbowmen as well. And they do get some great damage on those man-at-arms. Man-at-arms do have 5 pierce armor at the moment. And these archers currently have 9 damage. You will need the ironclad in order to make it so they deal 1 damage each. Right now, they're just getting focused on by the sheer number of archers. Longbowmen are inherently slower than regular archers. Horseman here does find a flank there, but hitting a man-at-arms, not these longbowmen. Longbowmen would likely throw a volley there onto these horsemen there, but the horsemen do fall back. They're not upgraded the veteran horsemen just yet. Here's the armor not being researched by orange. Very nice. Just got it right there. And now got some knights being pushed around the flanks. No kings for them. I don't think he's rebuilt his king just yet. No, he has not. Man-at-arms being focused on down there. Got some lancers now in the mix as well. Knight being engaged by these lancers now. And orange's archers just being whittled down by these veteran longbowmen. We got Blue now going for ironclad there, giving his man-at-arms +2/+2. We do now have orange going for keep. Keep's going to be very effective versus man-at-arms. They have 3 hand cannoneers firing from them. And there's a lot of villagers on this keep, so it will be built. You can actually garrison some of these archers on the inside as well to get just more defensiveness. Now it keeps deployed. He needs to get these villagers back. Maybe try and collect this deer and boar. Right now, Orange needs all the resources, while yet Lee has a good reserve of food. Lancers do receive a bit of fire there. And some of these archers are getting picked off by these longbowmen. This small little force here going around trying to hit the flanks as is quite nice. I'm not sure what these villagers are heading for this gold deposit. So these does actually recast them on the wood there, which may misinform his opponent what he was going for. Archer still picking off some of these forces there. Looks like that knight does go down there. If you were to get his king redeployed and support these longbowmen, this would provide him some good health regen for his forces as they start traversing around the map. Got another mill now being deployed in field. Does cancel this farm here as well. And the wolf is going to bite these lancers. Get some good damage there. And now the lancer goes down for near perfect damage. Main arm's now at the 7 pierce armor. That will make them very resilient to the arrow fire. They'll only take 2 damage per arrow. Orange now advancing forward. He needs to use some batter rams to help batter down these structures. And now you got another keep in point field. Looks like Orange's eyeing for a lot of keeps. He probably cannot claim these resources. And the monk here could push forward and go for conversion. Monk need to get the conversion off now. Oh no. He's not going for conversion. He doesn't realize it. There's conversion, but he's way in the range of the archers. Big mistake. He could have potentially got those villagers. Boost position's not looking good. They have these forward keeps now. Orange has been doing a good job of maintaining pressure with these archers well. The main archers streaming one at a time. He needs more of them. He needs horsemen in general. Horsemen, not knights. It's relying too much on longbowmen. Longbowmen are good at all, but at this point in time, they're not being good enough. Now they're keeping up with Floyd on field. Where did Orange find all the stone? Jeez. 800 stone. And it looks like Blue does back out of the game now. It's Android saying, thank you for watching and on to next replay.